So this is our module on series and segment development, whether you're somebody who already knows what your series is going to be and what sort of segments you're going to have in it, or if you have no idea and you're trying to figure it out, this should hopefully help you out. So I'm going to open my screen share and walk you through this presentation, which will hopefully help you out. So start right here. Okay, so what is your series hook? So a hook, just as it shows, is something that's going to grab you. What is it that's going to grab your viewers, make people want to watch your show, listen to you talk, listen to your experts, whatever it is that you're wanting to put out into the world, you want to have a hook for it. So there's some questions that can help with this to figure out what you're going to put out into the world. So the first question is, what is your why? Why are you doing this? Why did you even want to put your energy into this, your money into this, your time into this? There has to be a reason why. So for me, it's because I just decided that I really wanted to help people with their anxiety, their depression, their grief, having been through it myself. And I know that there's a better way now. So I wanted to put that information out into the world. I'm also a certified meditation instructor. And so I wanted to share those meditations with the world. So I created that series. So pretty simple, asking yourself why. Why am I doing this? Next question is, how can it help people? So can what I'm putting out into the world actually help someone manage their depression and their anxiety? Can my meditation help somebody be a better meditator or start meditating? How can it help people? Those are the ways it can help people. So think about how your series can help someone else, because we're all here to serve, right? Especially here with Well World TV, that's what we really want to do in the world. So how can it help people? The next is, who is your audience? So who are you speaking to? Who are the people that you want to tune in? Are they women? Are they men? Are they both? Are they a certain age bracket? Are they kids? Whatever it is. Maybe you want to do a kids yoga series and it's for moms and their kids. Whoever it is, you want to try to find that target audience. And it's okay if it's a broad audience, it can be a general audience, or it can be a very niche audience. For me, I really want to work with people who are already sort of in a spiritual alignment at some level. I don't want to work with people who don't know anything about spirituality, because that's not going to serve those people. They're not going to get it. So I have somewhat of a niche audience. So think about who your audience might be. And you guys can be writing all this stuff down too. When you look at these questions, start to go in a journal or go on your computer and type them out, because this is going to help you figure out what that series hook is. And then the last question is, what makes it you? What's different about your series is you. It's only you that makes a difference, because there might be 150 people a day doing meditation videos, but nobody does what I do. Nobody speaks the way that I speak. So you want to make it authentic to you, because that is your own special hook. That's what's going to get people interested, because they're going to connect to you. You know, there's millions of doctors and lawyers and dry cleaners in the world, but what people go back to is either the proximity, where they live, or it's that relationship. And most times when it comes to series, whether it's digital TV, even movies, it's about connecting authentically to someone. So you want to make it about you. So then next, we're going to talk about your elevator pitch. So you want to be able to describe your series in the time it takes to get into an elevator, go up a couple of floors, and get off. This is what they do in network television when you're pitching a show to NBC, ABC, or Netflix, or whatever it is. You don't have a lot of time. You want to be able to describe that series in just a few paragraphs or even just a few words. So for me, my series Wake Up Well is a series that's designed to inspire and uplift people and to deprogram them from watching news in the morning and watch inspirational, uplifting content. My meditation series, it's intuitive guided meditation to help align your chakras and open up your third eye. So thinking about how can you describe your show in a very, very short little timeline. So for instance, one of our boot campers from her last boot camp, she had a series called Pop Skate Live, and it was all about roller skating. It's bringing back the love of this old form of recreation that we all used to do. So think about things in those little increments. And if I were going to send you to Well World TV to write your description, can you write it in a nice, short, succinct way? So again, going back to a journal or writing, try to figure that out. Next, in order to get to either the name of the series or the brand that you want to be, you can do a lot of things when it comes to brainstorming. So coming up with names. I do this when I worked at Access Hollywood. I did this all the time for segments, what I was going to call them, or for words that I needed. So I want to go through some of those things of how you can actually like get to that. So let's start with buzzwords. So buzzwords are things like yoga is a buzzword, meditation is a buzzword. Anything that's sort of trendy right now, that's a buzzword. Things that are in pop culture, so social distancing, it is a buzzword. Things like that, things that people are going to pay attention to. That's why the media always has to give something a name. Like they give a hurricane a name. They don't just call it a hurricane's coming. They'll call it Hurricane Maria, because that's something that people will connect to on an emotional level. So when you think of those buzzwords, avocado toast, it gives you that emotional reaction. So you want to think of those buzzwords that relate back to what you guys are doing. And then, of course, keywords. So whether you watched our keyword module yet or not, or you're going to watch our keyword, it's important when you're creating series to make sure that people want to actually watch what you're putting out into the world. So you can do all these different keyword researches to see what is trending out in the world right now. Keywords are things like anxiety, depression, meditation, again, things that people will instantaneously recognize and understand what they are. So rather than being too nichey, like instead of talking about higher consciousness, maybe the keyword that is vibration or something else. So thinking about how can you take your nichey thing and make it just a little bit more generalized. Then one of the things I love is alliteration. So alliteration is Hannah Montana. Why was Hannah Montana such a successful show? Yeah, Miley Cyrus was great. Her dad was in it, Billy Ray Cyrus, but a lot of it was that connection to that name, Hannah Montana. So when you're out in the world and you see series like that, you will definitely see those type of alliterations, because people tend to remember things like that. The minute that you think of Miley Cyrus, you think of Hannah Montana. So maybe you want to come up with a series name for your show that's got that alliteration to it. And then descriptors. So descriptors are great because they describe exactly what you're trying to put out into the world. So be very descriptive with your show. So my show is Wake Up Well. That's pretty descriptive. It's telling you, well, mine has actually two meanings. So wake up well means to get up in the morning and, be inspired, but then wake up well also relates back to spiritual awakening as well. So it kind of has a twofold meaning. So think of different descriptions for your show. So if you're thinking of yoga, then what is yoga? Yoga is fluid. Yoga is aligning your chakras. Yoga is peaceful, loving, whatever it is. Meditation is calm. Hence why there's an app called Calm out there. Insight timer. So the reason that what that relates to is when you're meditating, you're getting insight, and the timer is taking the time to actually go in. So insight timer. So whenever people are thinking of names for their companies and their brands, they're always trying to describe what it is very quickly and succinctly. So think of those descriptors. And then sensation. So how does something make you feel when you're talking about your show? What is it going to make people feel on the inside? We were talking to someone about the name of their show was going to be Human Design, maybe. And I kind of really love that because it basically right then and there says exactly what you're going to do. You're going to help design me. And when I think of the word design, I think of interior design. And that gives me the sensation of, oh, I love seeing beautiful things. So just think of those sensations and what it would make you feel in your body when you talk about them. And again, please take out some notebook, paper, whatever it is, write all these things down, because that's how you'll get to it. I constantly will write, I just sit there and I'll start writing words, and then something will eventually jump out at me as to what that title would be. Okay, so once you have your series, and you know what it's going to be, when you've done all this homework, or you already know, even better, you're going to segment it out. So you have your overreaching series. So my series is Wake Up Well. And then within Wake Up Well, I have different segments. So every week I have a different guest or a different show. And so I come up with a new topic. So I am a topic-based show. So I actually do pre-interviews with my guests to come up with that exact topic, as opposed to some shows, which is fine. You just have the guest on as an expert, and it's not really so much about what a specific topic that you're talking about, but maybe you're, interviewing someone about just who they are in general. So that would be like a celebrity type of thing. When Jimmy Kimmel interviews people, he's just interviewing celebrities and they're talking and maybe they're promoting something, but it's not so topic based. So to segment things out is to come up with a topic. So some of my topics that I've done are the do's and don'ts of quality sleep, building your brand through community. So I always come up with a different name of what that will be. And I do the same type of things that I do with trying to find the series name when I come up with my titles, trying to find something that's got a great hook that I can explain very succinctly and quickly. So do's and don'ts of quality sleep. Obviously, it says right then and there what it is, gives you that sensation of, oh, I want to sleep. I want to go to sleep really well. And hopefully it'll make people tune in. Then, of course, you want to figure out who's your guest going to be. So there's the vlog style interview, which is, what I'm doing right here, which I'm just basically talking to the camera, and this little lens is my audience. But of course, you can have guests on. You can have as many guests as you want. I did a podcast this week where there were 4 different hosts of the show, and I was the 5th little window because we were doing it on Zoom, video and audio. And they all talk at once and talk over each other, but that's kind of their brand and what they put out in the world. And then I've done many a podcast where it's just myself and the other person on video or on audio. So thinking about who your guests are going to be. And then we have another module that is about how to get your guests, keep your guests, and leverage your guests. So make sure you catch that one down the line. And so just thinking about who your guests would be, coming up with a list of guests that you want, looking at their blogs, looking at their Instagram, seeing who speaks to you, who is going to engage with your target audience, and just looking at who do I want to be part of my show. Okay, then the next is, what's that title going to be? So if your topic is how to get better sleep, then that's an okay title, but I just really like the do's and don'ts of quality sleep. So coming up with that topic is, and then maybe thinking about, well, what is the title actually going to be? So it can be a simple title. It can be a title that speaks to all the keywords that are out there, rather than, okay, I'm going to have an anxiety expert on. Maybe your title, that's the topic, anxiety is the topic, but the title then is how to remove the blocks to joy because you're anxious. Something like that. So it's just coming up with a title that's going to grab people, hook them in to want to watch your show. So just as an example, this is the guy that I had on who did the episode Do's and Don'ts of Quality Sleep. Devin Burke, and he's got a great YouTube channel, and he's got some great little thumbnails here. Very simple. The dark side of sleeping pills. I mean, who doesn't get that? And does that, make you want to tune in? Why you still can't sleep? Okay, I want to know why I still can't sleep. How to get better sleep. Best travel sleep hacks. So that tells me, oh, and when I'm traveling, sleep can be difficult. So here's some ideas to help me with that. So it's very in your face, very simple, telling you exactly what he's talking about. He may have a guest on some of his episodes. He may not. He's not mentioning who his guest, and that's okay. You don't always have to mention who your guests are. You can mention that in the description, as you can see on the left-hand side if you want, or you can show who your guest is. So then here's mine. This is my Wake Up Well show. So I created for YouTube a very sort of overly too much information kind of graphic, but I wanted to keep it uniform, and I wanted to do it, give my guests their due. Whereas on Well World TV, that you'll see that my thumbnails are actually less elaborate, more simplistic, more about the topic. So it's totally up to you how you want to do it. You'll notice that I actually gave each episode a number, Wake Up Well episode 4, episode 5. I actually went and decided to take that out because I felt like it was way too much information. And since this show is not really a show where you have to watch it in sequential order, you can watch anything, I just felt that it wasn't necessary. So eventually I took it out. So now it just says the do's and don'ts of quality sleep, healthy hibernation, eating well at home, healthy home office, transforming through tragedy, how yoga saved me, so that people will hopefully connect to that, find it, watch it. And then this is my guided meditations channel on YouTube. And it's very simple, different than my other, because they're two different series. And this one, I just wanted to make the photo match whatever the meditation was. So you can see, I've got the energetic grounding meditation, meditation for healing planet Earth, chakra light meditation, and every thumbnail matches. And I don't have the same font for everyone, which you could do if you wanted to, just to make the font uniform. On Well World TV, I may actually do that, but it's totally up to you. These are all things that you can decide, and what speaks to you may not speak to me, but do it the way that feels best to you. Just keep it short and sweet. This is Deborah's. She's got her thumbnails, how to create a healthy relationship, get unstuck and thrive, how to be healthy and well. And so she created this a while ago, but this is basically just the way to create thumbnails and come up with what each segment is going to be about. And then this is Cherie Tennessee, who's one of our very first boot campers and thriving as a host on Well World TV. And so this is her thumbnail for each of her series. And you can see that she keeps the same image and then she just changes out, but she has, a very simple explanation for what each episode is. So holistic education for business, the power of partnerships for your business, and hers is obviously a business-based show. Okay, so now we're just going to go over some of the types of series that are out there. As you can see, there's a lot. I mean, there is just so much out there. So if you don't know what you want to do, there's lots of things you can do. So I'm just going to talk you through some of them. So episodic, so this would be a series like, I don't know if you've seen on Netflix, The Story of God, and Morgan Freeman is the host of it. And in every episode, he's going to different places and trying to get a sense of different cultures and who and what God is to them. So it's more episodic in nature. You could watch it more segmented, but it's one of those series that people tend to watch from start to finish. Obviously, sitcoms are episodic. Most dramas today are episodic. They're not one-offs. They do have a through line. So you could make a series that had a through line if you wanted to. There's the interview style where you're just talking to a guest. That's very simple and easy. Can be done on StreamYard, can be done on Zoom. Very easy. How-to videos. How-to videos are huge on YouTube. Lots of people making how-to videos. Like, I just bought this new camera and I don't know how to use it. So I went on and said, how do I use my Sony ZV-1 camera? Lots of how-to videos, and they actually do very well because everybody knows that you can go to YouTube and find out how to do anything. So they do fairly well, how-to videos. The news style or Dateline style. So that's similar to what I do with my show. I actually would love to do it more Dateline-y, but because we couldn't go out, I had to do it inside on StreamYard. But I do add lots of B-roll and images and some music to my show to make it more like you would see on a Dateline or Today Show. DIY, very popular. Do it yourself if you're someone who has into essential oils or making your own beauty products, that might be a great series for you. Branded content, which is working with a brand to come up with video content. That is how a lot of people who do content creation make their money now. They work with different brands and create video content for them, all while promoting the brand as well. Educational, you want to educate your viewers on something. So that can cross many things. So interview style can also be educational, right? You could make favorites and best of videos. So your top 10 favorite essential oils, your favorite yoga positions, the best places to eat plant-based food in South Florida. Just thinking of top 10 list and list of things that you love. That stuff does really well. Of course, vlog style, which is just you talking to the camera. I've done some vlog style videos where I actually add videos to it. In fact, it was kind of a favorites where I did some energy hacks to change your energy. And I did it vlog style and then added some video. Let's see, comedic, whether you're, you know, trying to be funny, which does very, very well. I'm not going to go through all of these, but thinking about behind the scenes. So people love to see behind the scenes videos. So maybe you're going behind the scenes of your favorite holistic food restaurants to see how they make some of their food. Maybe you're, you know, fly on the wall in the kitchen with them, or maybe you go to a yoga studio and see how they set everything up. If you're a business owner and you want to open a studio, you go behind the scenes to see what's going on there. So what else? Then of course, food and cooking, meet the team videos. If you're somebody who has a lot of people who work with you, this is a great way to introduce people to your team. Going behind the scenes as well, meeting the team members. So that's another style video that you can do. Video emails, I literally just did this today where I created a video, a 60-second, hey guys, come take my course, here's what it's about. And then I just uploaded it unlisted to YouTube, stuck it into my mail munch, and just sent it out to my subscribers to try to see if they would come to my class. So that's a great way to use your video content, not just online, but also in your newsletters. And then announcements are, you know, similar to that, where you're announcing a new class, announcing a new course. And I know a lot of people who are taking the boot camp have that type of content. So those type of explainer videos are great for your content, to get people interested and to use in your marketing and promotional materials. So this could go on and on. I mean, I could keep going and going, but you get a sense of there's so many things you could be doing. And then lastly, I'm going to just tell you about my Irate system. So this is when you're creating your content. I kind of run it by this system, especially when it comes to Well World TV, because we do want to serve the world. We do want to create a better world for all. So the first question is, does it inspire transformation? Is the content you're putting out there self-serving, or is it there to inspire people to do better, to think better, to live better, whatever it is? Because when you are serving in the world, that's when you know, we're putting the best content out there, and people will actually pick up on it, because we do want to transform and we do want to change. Next, does it elicit a response? Is somebody going to take an action based on what you said, to live better, to think better, to go, you know, take a yoga class, to step outside their comfort zone with something? So you want to make sure that your videos are eliciting that response. So I just keep going back to the do's and don'ts in quality sleep. I wanted people to know that they don't have to suffer with insomnia, and that they can sleep better. So I wanted them to listen to the ideas and then engage with them, try them, write them down, and make them work for them. Does it bring awareness? So does it bring awareness to an issue in the world? Does it bring awareness to some of your own authentic struggles, so that I can help other people? For me, like I'm very open, and I do talk about my dad's suicide, and that is because I want people to be aware that there is a better way, that they don't have to go down that path. And so I'm very open and authentic about it. Now, not everybody's going to do that, but I don't have a problem with it. I'm okay with it. So, and then, oh, I can't see it. Is it timely? So is it timely? So one of the great things about video content is you can create it at any time. So when there is a story in the media that connects to your brand, your niche, whatever you're talking about, you can do these timely videos that are going to help people. So if I see that, you know, somebody has committed suicide in the media, I may reach out to CNN or MSNBC and say, you know, hey, I can come on and talk about it and talk about other ways, or I'm partnered with this organization that is about mental health and wellness and suicide prevention, and I can come on and talk about them. So I just have that piece of what I do to help people. So timeliness is good, and especially when it comes to your segments too, making them timely but also timeless. So Deborah talks about this a lot, where you don't want to timestamp things. So when I do my series and I do my interviews, unless you're really, you know, trying to be that sort of newsy type of show, that's different than your news show, and that's what it's about. But if you're more of a general series, you want to not timestamp anything. You want to make sure that things can live for a really long time online, because they do live for a really long time. So making it timely but timeless. And then lastly, is it educational? So are you educating the audience on something? Are you educating yourself on something? Just making sure that you're putting something out in the world that is meaningful to the world. So lastly, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of homework, and that is to come up with your 5 potential series titles. What would your overall overreaching series be? And then some potential segment ideas, and thinking through all those things we talked about, keeping them short, keeping them sweet, the elevator pitch, will people understand it right away? And then just, you know, playing with different names for it and what it could be. And then if you guys want to, you can email it to me at laura@laurasaltman.com, and I'll take a look at it. I've been able to help people sort of shorten it and make it more concise. I have that brain coming from a producer. I do have that sort of brain where I can look at things and hopefully make it more succinct. So if you want to send that to me, I think it will really help you. And if you already know your title and you know what it is, you can send that to me as well. So thank you guys for watching this module on your series and segment development, and I hope it was helpful.